welcome to Campfire Clarity. I am excited to do a tarot reading for my fellow truckers. You can see I am in my truck. This is a Peterbilt, and you can hear it running in the background, I'm sure, because the air conditioning is on. I am in Iowa right now at a customer, and we just had a big old rainstorm with lots of like tornado sirens and stuff like that. So while the sun is out now, it's muggy. You know how it is when the sun comes out after rain. It is muggy. So I'm gonna do this reading for you, and I've already drawn your cards and I've taken a look, and I'll show you what I've got here. I've got the Chariot. That seems fitting for a truck driver, right? Got the Sun, the happiest card of the deck. I've got the High Priestess, who is most in touch with her intuition, and this is not gendered, his or her. The archetype is a High Priestess, but there is no gender to that. We have the Five of Wands, which is a card of competition. Some people kind of see it as a card of struggle. And then we have the Fool card, the card of taking healthy risks. Now, when I look at this spread, I see someone who hasn't really been out here that long. There's still kind of this adventure element to being on the road. I remember when I first started driving truck. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. And I remember in 1995, when I just got out of trucker school, there was this sense of wonder and adventure to this, idea of going out and hitting the road and getting paid to, basically live on the road. It's like this glorified road trip. And I remember when I look at the Five of Wands being kind of like that competition, one of the things that I notice on this particular card, you'll see that most of the characters are dressed similarly, except for one character in the foreground there that has like this polka dotted suit. And what that kind of makes me think of is the person who does things differently, who's not afraid to do things a little differently. And the thing about that is there are so many people out here on the road who are so set in their ways, and they don't only have a routine for themselves, they expect everybody to go by their routine because there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. Now, in some cases, maybe that's true in terms of like safety things or whatever, but when it comes to like routines for dropping and hooking a trailer or something like that, there are certain ways that people remember all the steps to do a thing. But that doesn't work for everybody. Everybody has to kind of develop their own style. So like when you're in training and your trainer is like telling you all the ways and all the steps and how they make, I was a trainer for a number of years. And I would teach my students exactly like how I would do things, but then I would tell them, as soon as you graduate from training and get into your own truck, you're going to develop your own style, do your own thing. And that's what the Fool is all about. The Fool is not necessarily a foolish person. The Fool is kind of the novice But in mindset, you can know what you're doing and still embody the characteristics of the fool, because you can kind of see here that this fool is carefree, just enjoying life, just not worried about all the dogma, all the people who are set in their ways. Now, one of the things that is jumping out at me, another thing that's jumping out at me, is this high priestess. The thing about the trucking industry is we sometimes forget that we have intuition and we need to use it. Like, for instance, if you have somebody in the dispatch office or something like that telling you that you need to go against your better judgment in something that you're doing. We have intuition inside of us that can tip us off to when something just doesn't feel right. This is also true with things like weather. If you have a certain route that you're planning to take from point A to point B, and then you just get this feeling, let me just look at the forecast. I wonder, we just got through in the season that I'm recording this. It's spring, and I was just telling you about the weather and the tornado sirens and stuff like that. You can't always avoid the weather, but you can check the weather and you can plan accordingly. So leave yourself a little bit of cushion so that you can live into the beauty of the sunshine, of the happiness that you feel being out here on the road. One of the wonderful things about being a truck driver is that there's a lot of freedom out here. And also, when you see the chariot in a reading, in my reading, especially in the context of this particular spread, I just want to encourage you that if you're feeling unsure about whether you got what it takes to do this job, the chariot is your card that says you got what it takes. There are a lot of people out here that wonder, especially when they're learning the backing skills. Parallel parking is a nightmare sometimes when you're trying to learn. Some of those rest areas are just so tight and hard to maneuver. Some of these customers have dumpsters in the way when you're trying to back into a spot. They say, back into dock 12, but then there's this huge dumpster in the way. It's just like, sometimes you wonder if you have what it takes. And this spread is saying you have what it takes. Don't be afraid to be the character in the polka dots that does things your own way. If you've got a bunch of people watching you try to maneuver into a parking spot at a truck stop or something like that, it's okay to just ignore them. If you have if you have a situation where someone's trying to help you but it's not very helpful, it's okay to set boundaries and say, no, I got this. So just take heart that if you're new out here, this is a spread that says follow your intuition. Don't be afraid to do it your own way, and you absolutely have got what it takes. So have fun. Don't be afraid to do things that just make you happy, because in the end, we've got the Sun card that encourages you and says it's an awesome life out here. So be happy, go out there, make your money, and I'll catch you next time around. Have a good day.